Do you feel like your cat is just as much of a magical being as you are? Or do you just really want to make them something cute that you can take lots of pictures of them in and just show off to people? This is my cat's Gryffindor scarf that I made last year. Since then, I have come to the conclusion that she is in no way at all a Gryffindor. She's definitely a Slytherin, so I decided to make her another scarf for the sake that it is the pre-Halloween season. If you're tired of people going, "Oh my gosh, it's almost Halloween. Oh my gosh, it's September, it's almost October. Oh my gosh, I already have my costumes picked out since like January." Go with it. We have to deal with Christmas decorations being put out at Hobby Lobby after the 4th of July. Who am I kidding? I love Christmas just as much as I love Halloween. So I put together this pattern that is really easy, especially if you are a beginner at knitting. The only 2 stitches you need to know are the knit stitch and the purl stitch, and how to change colors, which I will show you how to do that. So this is what you're going to need to get started. 2 skeins of yarn in the corresponding house colors you've chosen for your pet. I'm using the Hobby Lobby brand. I love this yarn because I love that yarn. It's so good. The green I'm using for the Slytherin green is called Forest, and the gray is called Gray Mist. So to start off with, I'm using US 8 5mm needles by Clover. You can really use whatever you need to obtain your gauge. If you want it to be a particularly thicker scarf, or if you want to use smaller needles and do the more intricate stripes, then whatever you do is going to be fine. It's kind of weird talking with my hands, but I'm sure I'll get over it. So take your base color, not the stripe color. So in this case it would be green. Make your slip knot, and you're going to cast on 15 stitches. So I have 15 stitches here. It might not look like it just yet, but once I start knitting, it will certainly start to fill out a little more. So this scarf is done in a stocking knit stitch, which is basically just knit on the right side and purl on the back side. So since this is the right side, we will knit all of this first row. So you have your first row of knit on the right side done. And how the pattern is going to go is 8 rows of each color. I'm going to purl this next row. So now we have 2 rows done, 1 knit and 1 purl, and I'm going to continue doing this until it is time to switch colors. So I've just finished row 8 on the purl side, and now I flip my work over, and it is time to add your stripe color. You take your needles like you are about to knit a stitch, and you're going to pick up this yarn and put it around your finger like this. Slip it onto the needle, holding both strands in your hand, and complete the knit stitch with it. From here, you are going to make sure that you have the yarn attached to the ball and not the tail. And you're going to continue knitting. And you have successfully switched colors. Make sure you go back and tighten these ends over here so that they don't come unraveled. Then we flip the work over and we continue with our knit on the right side, purl on the wrong side for 8 rows. I worked ahead a little bit and I have 6 blocks done. It takes 15 blocks to equal the right amount for me, but of course it depends on however long or short you want to make it. I have made it all the way to 16. I'm getting ready to bind off on this purl side here. Purl the first 2 stitches, And then take your first stitch and bring it over the second one, like so. If you know how to bind off or want to look up some videos, I know that my lighting and camera work is not the best for this right now, but you will continue, purl one, and take that first stitch and put it over the other one. So once you've come to the end here, you're going to take this last stitch and make it a little loose. Take your needle off, cut away from your yarn source, and you're going to take that tail and pull it through and tighten. Now you have finished your little scarf, and we are going to take our tapestry needle and start to sew the ends together. So with a pretty well-sized string of yarn, you're going to take your tapestry needle, thread it, and then find the end, and you're going to knot that a couple times. So the edges already naturally start to curl in, but we're going to try to make those pretty flat as we whip stitch. And I take the knot and just hide it on the inside so that it's not showing. Once you have finished sewing up the edges, you're going to want to flatten it out to where that seam line is in the middle, and that's where it's going to hide permanently forever on the back. If you want your scarf to lay a little more flat, you can always lightly iron it, and that will definitely press it down. So you're going to want to make your overlap to where you have enough room in the neck hole here, and we're going to take our tapestry needle again, and we're going to sew this down. I'm going to put just a few stitches. Once you have everything stitched down, take a crochet hook, and we're going to add the tassels at the very end. Double over the yarn about 2 times, so we have 4 strands at the end. From here we take the crochet hook and put it through the very end, and we're going to take all 4 of these and pull it through the scarf. Now holding one end of it, we pull the other end through this side. Make sure that they're even and then tie them in a knot. You should be able to fit about 3 tassels at the end, and the length doesn't matter because you can go in and trim to how short you want it to be. When you have your fringe added and cut to the length that you want it, then it is time to take it out for a test drive. And now you have your own house scarf for your special pet. They are equipped with the proper attire to join you at Hogwarts. As always, thank you for watching.